Hello again, welcome to another of Harry's Jeti videos. This time I've been asked by someone, can I have a variable value such as in a mixer where the mix is assigned to one of the rotary tuning dials, so I can vary the value, but also have an on-off switch? Yes, you can. I'm going to show you how to do that. There are a couple of pitfalls with the default settings that will come in, and what I'm going to do is leave them without changing them and then show you the effect that it has on the mixer, so that if you see things like these yourself, you can go, I've seen this before, now I know what's wrong, I know what setting to go back and change, and so we'll do that. Okie doke. So let's just jump straight in. We are going to create a mixer, and we're going to do from aileron to rudder. The master value will be 100% because we want the mix to be able to go up to 100%. If you only wanted the mix, even at maximum, to go up to 60%, then you would set 60% in there, but we'll allow you the whole thing. Okie dokie. And the switch, well, if it was just variable tuning you wanted, you would simply assign one of the rotary controls here. But in this case, we've been requested to have an on-off switch as well. Okay, so we've got two things trying to control it. That's a switch and a rotary knob. And that's the big clue that here we want a logic switch, which will be an AND switch and rotary knob. Okay, doke. So switch, I'm going to assign it to logic switch 1 because we're going to go and create logic switch 1 now. So say OK to that. Come out of here, advanced properties, logical switches. Okay, control 1 will be the switch I want to use as the on-off switch. So I'll put it in the off position, move it to the position I want the mix to be on, say OK to that. Control 2 is going to be the rotary tuning knob. I'm going to use P8, so I rotate P8. Now, notice that it's just switching off, on, off. I need a proportional output. Proportional is switched off, so press prop. And now the dial goes from plus 100 through 0 to minus 100. Lovely, but you're thinking, hang on. In a mixer, you need it to go from 0 to plus 100, because if the mix goes negative, you're going to get reversed mixing. Quite true. However, here's the snag. Watch this. We're going to use the AND condition. And the problem with the AND condition is that when we switch off the switch, it will lock at X. I forgot to do one of the things. P8 needs to be a linear. There we are. Silly me. Yep. Still showed you what the effect of not doing it properly is. And now with the switch on, we get a nice proportional output from turning the knob from minus 100 at fully anti-clockwise to plus 100 at fully clockwise. Okay. If we switch off, it locks at minus 100. And we're going to have to deal with that somewhere else in setting up this system. Because if it locks at minus 100, what we'll actually do is reverse the mix. So you'll get full mix in reverse, which is not good. So if we're going to have to deal with a minus 100 value somewhere else in this mixing system, then there was no point in setting the control P8 itself with no center, so it could not come down below 0. Yeah. So we're going to have to deal with minus 100 elsewhere. So leave that in. So here we go. With the switch in the off position, it's locked at minus 100. I'm rotating the P8 knob, as you can see. The output's locked. You rotate the P8 knob down to anti-clockwise, switch it on. I can now adjust the values. Okie doke. So what effect is that having on our mixer? Let's look at the servo output. Output 2 is the aileron. Output 4 is the rudder. I'll switch the mixer off. Let's first of all see what happens. Good. Aileron only, no rudder. With the mixer switched off, I'm going to rotate the P8 knob, the tuning knob, and as you can see, no rudder is coming in. I'll rotate the P8 knob fully anti-clockwise, which is where we want zero mix to be, and I'll switch the mixer on. Okay, now I'm going to push aileron, and good. No, mix, lovely. I'm now going to start rotating the tuning knob whilst holding in full aileron, and what we're looking for is the rudder smoothly moving all the way up to 100%, but it won't. Why not? I'm turning the tuning knob, nothing's happening, and all of a sudden I get to halfway and we get full mix. It would be 100, I think. I just need to recalibrate some of my sticks and stuffs. So turning the tuning knob just seems to switch it on or off. It's all or nothing. We're not getting a nice smooth output. Why is that? After all, we set up the logic switch with a nice smooth output. Yeah, the problem is here in the settings of the switch in the mixer. It's not proportional. And so if I rotate P8, the tuning knob, it's switched on if we're above 0%, and it switches off if we go below 0%. But switch on proportional, yay, lovely. We now have the full plus 100 to minus 100 that the logic switch was giving us as an output. And if I switch the mixer off, it should lock at minus 100, and I'll rotate P8 knob, nothing happens. So now, at least, we are getting the true logic switch output. But, yep, this is going to give us that problem that I mentioned here. The mix is off. I push the aileron stick, and you see what we're actually getting is full reverse mixing, because, of course, the logic switch output at minus 100% is giving us reverse mixing. I'll now switch on, push the stick hard over, and the control is given over to the knob, which is giving us ridiculously wrong thing. It's now least proportional, but that is the wrong way round. Okay, and that is because center is switched on. If we switch off center, see the jump? I'll rotate the tuning knob all the way anti-clockwise. With a center, it's at minus 100. I'll rotate the knob so you see it goes all the way there. But if we switch off a center, then the 0 becomes the full left point. And I'll now rotate the knob clockwise. It goes up to 100. So we've now got a lovely 0 to 100% control. Okie doke. And at last, so we switch off, move the aileron, the rudder should not move. Lovely. I'll hold on full left aileron, and I'll now rotate the P8 knob. Nothing should happen to the rudder. Good. Okay, stick back to neutral. The P8 knob is fully anti-clockwise, so that should be the 0 mix point. I'll switch the mixer on, move the aileron. Nothing should happen because the mix is 0. I'll hold in aileron, and I'll start turning the mix up. There we go. A nice, smoothly controlled proportional mix all the way. But if I switch it off, it goes to 0. And I'll just prove that the rudder stick is still working nicely. Yep. Okay, do that. Mix on, bit of there, and move our rudder. But notice that if I move the rudder whilst I'm holding an aileron, I don't get anything like the proper travel values. Well, if you look at another of my videos called Smooth Demixing, you'll see how to correct that and still get full rudder control. Okay, you've done your flight. You've adjusted the tuning knob, and you've got what you think is just the perfect aileron to rudder mix. You think, how am I going to lock that in now? How do I know what the mix was? I've switched it off to come in and land, for whatever reason, whatever. I'd like to now just lock in whatever value that was into the switch. Okay, well, it tells you here what the value is. At the moment, it's switched off. But if I switch the switch back on, it goes to 42 because that's where the tuning knob is. I haven't moved the tuning knob since doing my flight testing. So I've flown around, turned the tuning knob, got the value I want, switched it off, landed, just switch it back on, there's the value. So now what you could do is set master value 42%, and the switch would be changed simply to the physical switch. I'll show you. So master value now becomes 42%. See, it's changing because it's still on the logical switch, but we set 42%, and then come across here and clear out the logic switch, and we'll make it just this physical switch. There's the on position, okay, to that. So now the tuning knob no longer has any effect. Changing that. We get 42% mix with the switch in the on position, no percent mix with the switch off. Let's just have a little look at it. Switched off, no mix, switch on, 42%, tuning knob has no effect. Switch off, switch on. So there you go, that's how to do it.